You missed that by like 3 seconds. I don't know where he is. He'll be here.
Go Nintendo Pod. No.
Please don't. Well, you can curse. So I was gonna say, don't say. Just don't curse. Just don't talk.
What episode?
This is 704.
704.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
You are live. I'm just letting you know. You're not on camera.
Okay. I wanted to ride past the house.
No, we're not doing that. No.
What do you mean?
Then I gotta look and see what they did. It's been a week that I did what they did.
I don't know.
Oh, your old house. I thought you meant our house. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I don't like that.
We will be starting shortly. I apologize for the delay. My parents dropped by out of nowhere.
Oh,
shut it.
Shove it. You smell.
Oh my God, I forgot all about you.
Your coffee?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. We're going.
Cold, man.
I'm sorry. What's the Pokemon again?
I already forgot what number it is.
704.
It's
704?
Goomy.
Goomy?
Goomy.
Okay.
Please don't ask me to do too much.
Goomy, please.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 704, the Goomy Podcast.
Are you done? Can we start the show now?
Mom Brain,
Yeah.
you want to tell us about Goomy, please?
Goomy, please.
Goomy, please.
Excuse me. I have a Ginder. I have a Goomy.
Ginder.
Goomy looks like a light purple, vaguely slug-like pile of goo. The top half of its body is a lighter purple than its bottom half, and the two halves are separated by a squiggly dark purple outline decorated with 5, not 4,
Count them.
not 6, 5 green dots. It has beady eyes and 2 rows of 2 horn-like structures on top of its head.
No, not Goonies, Robert.
Goomy is widely considered the weakest dragon-type Pokemon. Its body is made of mostly water. Once it dries out, it's unable to breathe and dies. Jeez, got dark.
You're in charge of the soundboard until Kirby gets here.
Because of this, it hides in damp
It sure is boring around here.
and shady places such as swamps to keep its body slimy. This slime is germ-laden and makes punches and kicks aimed at it slide off harmlessly. It uses
Goodbye. Watch out,
Cat's
cat's
coming.
coming.
Watch him, please. It uses its sensitive horns to check out its surroundings. As seen in the anime, its diet consists of leaves.
Die, monster.
Goomy is number
Shoots and leaves.
704. It is a dragon-type Pokemon, and its abilities include Sap Sipper or
Read
Hydration.
that, you little sap sipper.
And its hidden ability is Gooey.
And
50-50 male to female ratio, a foot tall and 6 pounds.
Yes, I have seen those, Paul. Paul's asking if I've seen them.
what does it evolve into? A Dolan.
Paul's asking if we've seen the videos of cats scared by cucumbers. Yes, I think we all have here.
But, we never did try it with the cat.
No, because it's mean. I read a whole thing about it, how they react like that because their food bowl is their safe space, and you do that to them and they get
Oh, you do it by their food bowl?
When they're eating, you put it behind
Oh,
them.
I would
Yeah.
never
Because they're
do that.
distracted. And
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Yeah, like if you just put one behind the cat now, he's not going to care, but you
How
do
do
it
you
when
know?
they're eating.
This isn't really charging. It's like stuck in its own.
That's how it works, yeah.
What do you want? It's like 5 years old.
I mean, as long as, what is that, 13?
12.
Yeah, I mean, it's
11.
I think it lost percent.
10.
9. Yeah, it usually hangs like that. So. Well, welcome to the wonderful world of cucumber cat videos, Paul. You got a lot ahead of you.
That's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of videos of animals doing funny things, like that one with the duck that like explodes its butt all over and then walks like a strut.
Yes.
I loved that video, and then I read the comments, and they're like, "Yeah, it's because it's got some parasite or like some
He's
illness,
dying.
and it's dying." And I was like,
Oh.
"Damn it!"
Well, that's how I found out about the cat, when the cat was putting his head against the wall, and I was like, look at this stupid idiot. This is really funny. And then the internet was like, your cat's sick. He's in great pain. I was like, oh no, I'm such a horrible person.
Well, he did sit in that box with his face right up to the grate,
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess because there's like
Try out that
a
nose,
warm
baby.
breeze.
Yeah.
And he's
I
just
think
like,
that's intake. I don't think that's output. I think that's intake.
Hello, ZX Billy and Autumnal Blake and Robert Bear and Paul and Canadian Rambo and
I
Deontay,
think so.
Nader Die, Joe, Timothy, Matt
This is in
Fish,
front of the door.
Hailey and Tom,
It
Alex
wasn't
Halo,
always a door, it
Sarah
used to be a
Sarah,
window.
Northern Sequence, Rock Yet, Joe, hello Joe, Mario Mania, Roth, Rock Yet, did I say that right? Spaniel, and whoever else I didn't catch. Alex, who we got down here? Fire Flame, Dew. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Dew?
I really
Like
appreciate
Dew
it.
Michaels?
With a W or an X?
DEW. Dew.
Whoa!
Boy, this old thing just ain't what it used to be. Hello, Stakona. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Joe. I'm on it. For some reason, Joe, I'm surprised by your name every time, and then I think of the Simpsons thing. Roth, is that true? Hello, T27 Duck. Hello, Tony. Is it really National Pizza Day?
I feel like that was earlier in the week.
Roth is saying Happy Pizza Day.
I thought somebody went and got pizza on Pizza Day like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Well,
I have 0 sense of time.
I had no idea that it even happened if it did happen. So
Let's
I'm
look it
upset.
up. Let's head to the Goobs.
Okay,
Google.
so hello, Rachel. Rachel, you asked me what time we started earlier today and made sure it was 3:15, and it was, and you're not here until 3:21. What a load of garbage.
National Pizza Day. I don't know where to find information.
Matt says, love watching GoNintendo while I drive. We do not recommend doing it listening while you
That's a
drive.
terrible idea.
That's fine, but you are an adult. Hopefully, if you're driving, you're an adult.
February 9th.
It's like a
You can
7-year-old.
make your own choices.
Today is National Pizza Day.
We did it. We got to celebrate.
I ate pizza yesterday.
All right.
Whoa! Incredible!
Maybe.
So Kirby is coming, as far as I know, because he hasn't said he wasn't.
Don't
so
relax.
I'm
We're not done yet.
gonna
Kirby will
hold
be here
off
in a
on
second.
new segment Cool, which is coming back today because Nikki Hill is here. Here you go.
I thought that was him. I thought your cat
Cat's
just
pulling
pulled
the
the chair out.
Um,
Excuse me, handsome.
but I would like to say
Die,
a
monster.
special thank you to Donut Muffin because Donut Muffin for weeks and weeks now has been sending me icons for new segment Cool
Oh.
edited more professionally, and so we have a nice backlog because apparently he's a fan of that segment. So we will be doing one of
Guys,
those
Kirby's
today.
here.
There he is. We would have done more than one icon today, but I didn't know Nikki Hill was going to be here for sure. So we're getting one in there, which we will get to when Kirby gets here.
Thank
Hello,
you,
John
Donut
Reggie.
Muffin, for being the only person that appreciates that segment.
But yes, thank you, Donut Muffin. I really appreciate that. Also, I want to point out we did one of them old-fashioned written reviews for Yokai Watch 3, and thank you to those of you who checked that out. I greatly appreciate it. I got some very kind words on that review. I haven't done a written review in quite some
Like
time.
handwritten, and then you scan the pages?
Handwritten, yeah,
Can you do that from now on?
with a quill and everything. Dearest GoNintendo readers. So yeah, you can check out that review. It's over on the site in the Go Original Content section. Why not? I mean, it's my site. Why don't I just get it changed? Why can't it be a different name? Hello, Zoso.
Can't what be a different name?
I hate Go
Original.
Original Content. I
Why?
hate that because it's dumb.
It's a play on the idea of the
I
name.
get what it is. I just don't like it. It doesn't need to have like a special name. It could just be called, I don't know, Features. How about that? Features. Go Original Features.
How about, how about original GoNintendo?
Autumnal says, I like how dumb it is.
Original
Autumnal
content.
That's it. That's what we're doing.
Original
So yeah, thank you to
gun
those who read that and
and-
checked out some nice
and-
comments. I will, or left nice comments. I will talk to you about my impressions of that game later on in the show. Yes, Nikki Hill.
I'm trying to think about how to work Nintendo into that.
Yes.
GoNintendo.
Matt says features, but he spells it FEECHURS. Now that's so dumb that I really like it. Because I know people are going to read it out loud and be like, what feature? Oh, and then they'll get it.
Not me.
I'm guessing
Kirby's here.
Kirby's here. The announcement of Kirby is here.
All right, stand-in Kirby, you're out. New Kirby's in, or old Kirby's in.
Oh yeah, that's Kirby. I heard the door close. I'm glad we waited. You could play the song while we wait for him to get in here. Let's do a new segment. Cool.
GoNintendo Podcast. New segment. Cool. New segment. Cool.
We waited for.
New segment. Cool.
Is this your remix?
Cool. As new. Oh boy. GoNintendo Podcast.
Hey, Kirby's here.
New segment. Cool. New segment.
Cool.
Wow.
That was great. I didn't like the remix until the very end. Hello, Santiago and all 41. We were waiting for Kirby to get here to do new segment Cool because it's back. And there's been some happy. There's been some happy belated birthdays in the chat, Kirby. Happy.
Happy Halappy.
Happy Halappy, Kirby.
Nice hat, Halappy. Nice Halappy.
I bet I know where it came from.
A store.
No.
Okay.
It did not come from a store.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. What
Did
did
you
I
make it?
Mm-mm.
My mom knitted it.
My
I
spirit
dropped the
animal. His mother
link
is my
for
spirit
new
animal.
segment Cool in the chat. It is also on the post over on
Hey, we're
GoNintendo.com.
up to 13%.
Mom Brain, will you please do us the pleasure of describing this week's icon?
This week's boy,
Yeah.
it's got a sweet rabbit. This week's icon features a lovely spring green background.
Get off the table, fatty.
In the foreground, there appears to be a hole, and
Hi, Antonio.
looking into the hole
It's a donut,
is a
right?
raccoon wearing a bandana. Next to that raccoon is what looks to be a half-eaten donut. On the other side of that raccoon appears to be a young girl who is sitting next to another half-eaten donut. And that young girl is also dropping a strawberry frosted
What
donut
the heck?
into the hole. So it appears to be a raccoon and the little girl who are friends eating donuts together, and the little girl is dropping a donut into a
She's
hole.
clumsy.
Very nice
Donuts.
description. Very accurate and thorough.
Is she returning that donut back to the earth from which
You're
it came?
telling me. This is your game, man.
Yeah,
You
it's,
tell me.
Maybe there's a landfill in that hole. And she's just like, I don't want this donut.
Fill the hole with donut holes.
Whoever says, I don't want this donut,
I don't know, maybe
Weirdos.
it's old.
You know
maybe
what?
she's diabetic.
Maybe it's like a day old or something.
Maybe
I-
she's,
I mean,
maybe
I
she's
eat a
smarter than
day-old
me.
donut.
I stopped and got a donut today, and I regretted it instantly. She maybe had that donut, and she was like, "Not today, sugar."
That's the name of the game.
Well,
Not today.
I think the
Sugar hole.
I like sugar.
Sugar hole.
I think the
Oh,
raccoon. Is,
Joe says the
named
name of
Sugar.
it is Donut Dropper Rodent's Delight.
I think the artwork is very reminiscent of a game that I've wanted a sequel to for a long time. Feel the Magic. I think this is a spiritual successor to Feel the Magic.
Canadian Rambo is saying that's something he would do when there's no Boston creams available. Take the other donuts and throw them down the donut hole. I do not like Boston creams.
I like a Boston
Okay.
cream if I'm in a position to
Boston.
eat it comfortably. Because the cream can get messy and the chocolate on top, so I can't be driving.
For those who
or
don't
in a
know, Mom
car.
Brain
You
takes
know-
the Boston cream and just squeezes all the cream into it.
And you know,
That's not true.
you know, Timmy
That's
Horton.
not true.
I like how you're like really offended. Like,
You know,
I don't
I
do
don't do
that.
You know, good old Timmy Horton has a Boston cream that instead of chocolate on top is maple. And it changes
Whoa.
the flavor completely.
Let me tell you something about Tim Horton.
Here we go. I knew this was
I
going to
have
happen.
never
I don't
enjoyed
like
a
their
donut
coffee.
from there.
Have you ever had a maple Boston cream?
I've not.
I don't know what she says. All of their donuts have like some
There's a plasticky flavor.
taste.
to
I
their
like their
donuts.
donuts. I don't love them, but I like them. I like them better than Dunkin' Donuts by far. But
You shut your
That's the
disgusting mouth.
shellac.
Dunkin' Donuts donuts aren't
Can I
that
have an eye
great.
booger on your eyelash on your left eye?
Ew.
So you can't be. No one's taking you seriously.
Yeah, I don't think Dunkin' Donuts donuts are all that great. They're
Whatever. You don't live in New Jersey anymore.
I don't live in New Jersey.
Next thing you know, you're gonna say pork
So-
rolls disgusting.
So this is
Give me 2 donuts, put some pork roll in the middle, and I'm dying.
This is a Feel the Magic sequel where you play as the Trash Panda. The girl.
Sweet Rabbit. It's a Sweet Rabbit.
I'm sorry. The girl
Oh,
threw the donut down the hole. The Sweet Rabbit goes after the donut and experiences a whole underworld round.
What?
Underground world.
Underworld Ground. Autumnal has a
Underwear
whole
ground.
title. I'm gonna say, I feel the subtitle he offered subtracts from just the main title, so I'm gonna say the main title, Sweet Holes.
I like it. I like it.
Subtitle is The Raccoons Authority.
Here's what I think it is. I think that in the beginning, that Sweet Rabbit is on a journey, and the poor Sweet Rabbit loses its family down that hole.
What do you call the Sweet Rabbit?
From
He's got a long tail and short
it's from what one is that? It's
Guardians of the Galaxy?
it's I thought it was from
Infinity
Probably
War.
from Infinity
When
War.
Thor looks at Rocket and he says something about, "Oh yes, thank you so much, Sweet Rabbit."
I forget what Rocket says to him, but he pats him on the head and says, "Thank you, Sweet Rabbit."
It's so great.
They're good bros.
are.
So the raccoon that was the model, the real life model for Rocket, passed away.
Oh.
And I was reading that on Reddit, and somebody in the comments said, "Rest in peace, Sweet Rabbit."
You know the whole thing about the raccoon? I think it was Canada, right? Was it in Canada?
Oh,
It
sorry,
died on the
Autumnal.
sidewalk.
That was
They
all-
try to get well soon balloon to it.
I want to say this.
And
Autumnal
they
says.
created like a whole
Yes.
vigil outside. Because
Autumnal
nobody
says
picked
what
up the
he
town to
said
pick it up.
was
So
an
they said-
edit of all 41 reviews comments. So credit where credit's due.
Is anyone listening to you?
I'm sorry. It's the people that support the show. I thought I should read their comments.
Who is supporting? Who is the show right now?
Wow.
We're supporting the show.
Wow. Are you hearing this?
I like to
guys?
say when I'm here, I support the show.
Well, anyway.
100%.
Listen, I'm not.
On my
So
shoulders, I carry the shit.
the raccoon's family gets
Shovel.
lost down the hole,
Whoops.
and he has to go on this journey to find this little girl and be like, "How are we going to save my family?" And she's like, "I don't know, but while we think about it, let's give them these donuts I have that my grandmother gave me while I was visiting her."
Okay.
And that's how they got there.
Raccoons have taken over Donut County.
Wait, what did you think, Kirby?
Hmm?
About the donut rabbit.
Didn't I give my opinion already?
Oh, follow this rabbit down the donut hole.
Raccoons have taken over
So
Donut County.
Donut's a day old, so she threw it down the trash hole, and the raccoon's probably going after it because it's hungry.
With remote control trash stealing holes. You play as BK, a hole driving raccoon who swallows up his friends in their homes to earn idiotic prizes. When BK falls into one of his own holes, he's confronted by his best friend Mira and the residents of Donut County, who are all stuck 999 feet underground, and they demand answers in
Huh? What?
Donut County. The name of the game is Donut County. Hello, Dre Gamer. Donut County is an award-winning game. It was
What award?
best hole.
So this all takes place. This all takes place underground.
Oh man, like turtles. Somebody said something. Timothy
Oh,
says
who's this guy?
Kirby's beard is looking good.
He's sitting on
Oh,
a
thank
toilet.
you, Timothy.
He's on a laptop, I guess.
Yeah.
On the toilet.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's a briefcase.
I mean, we all use electronic devices while on the toilet for the most part. Think about the days when you didn't have phones and you were on the toilet.
You
Yeah,
read soap bottles.
I know. Think about like kids thinking about that today. Their minds would be blown.
I mean, my grandparents always kept a basket. Of
I was going to say,
magazines.
people used to
Yeah.
keep baskets. Hello,
Like
cumulative.
magazines and newspapers,
Good to
like,
see you.
Mhm.
Filled with fart, poop, pee
No,
particles.
but like who? I guess there must have been a lot of people who would like take 20 minutes to take a dump or something.
I feel like
I never needed to read anything
Me?
on the toilet.
Yeah.
this game is made for me.
we should bring back a basket of magazines for the bathroom. I feel like we should do that.
I thought you were going to say, I think
I
we
used
should.
to have it upstairs.
Let's turn the hand towel rack into a newspaper rack.
We could put our old comics in there. People could read our comic
What
books.
are our old comics?
I mean, give it some
I don't know,
time.
you don't
To
want
the
people
viewers.
like getting fecal matter all over the
Oh,
comics.
Getting doo-doo. Yeah, you
Hands
guys
just
are
stuck to
gross.
my hand. Thank you again to Donut Muffin for sending
How
in
about
this
this?
icon.
Oh, I know why I came
We
from
do a
Donut
live
Muffin.
stream of somebody playing this game on the Switch while on the toilet.
Joe says hashtag bring back poop mags. Yes, let's get that trending for the
Well, we just found
Wait a
out.
second. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We just found out that porno mags are like making a comeback. They're like considered like
They're like
They're like the new VHS.
yeah,
Nice.
they're like making a comeback.
I've got an idea. A magazine made strictly
What was it?
for bathroom use,
So you pull
and
out
the back
pages?
section is all toilet paper that you just.
The back section is for your back section.
Can we? If only we had connections to someone who publishes
Oh, boy.
a magazine.
Well, I don't publish it.
Have
Canadian
connections.
Rambo, thank you for
I
that
said
hashtag because that's what I was thinking.
Connections.
God, you guys that listen to the podcast are great. Mikkel says, damn it, this is weird. He said, a big basket of hentai for your bathroom. That would be really funny.
That back section of toilet paper is going to get used for something else.
Yes, covering
But
up
why
that
not?
filth.
Why not? You go to the magazine, the newsstand, and you get
The what stand?
the newsstand.
Then they get some action. You know, they have them in airports. Those weird
Oh,
places in
yeah.
airports
They
where
sell-
they buy lifesavers and
And cigarettes.
They sell
Hudson City News.
periodicals, and they sell.
you guys read the latest
beverages
Hudson City News?
and lifesavers, as you said. Mouth drops. That's what you call
Throat
them.
drops.
Mouth.
Cough drops. Cough drops, or candies, hard candies.
Hey, you guys.
Werther's
Snickers.
Originals.
You guys want to do some Nintendo news?
No.
Huh? What?
Well, let's do it anyway.
I
Nintendo's.
realize that if you just hit it and go,
Whoa!
and then you can stop it, so you can completely change.
Listen, this guy knows the sound.
I tried that once because I thought you could make it repeat the first part over and over again, but it just
spacing.
I think there might be like an option to change those settings if you maybe hold on something.
I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win.
Yeah, so you get a whole bunch of stuff there.
you can loop them.
All right. Anyway, so Nintendo had their their Q3 financial results last week, which we talked about, but that was followed up obviously by the Q&A, which took longer to translate. Thankfully, we had some.
Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis!
Sorry.
We had some translations of that from fans. Nintendo just put up the official English translation yesterday morning, so they take their time translating that every year. But we do have the tidbits that were translated by some of the kind Japanese-speaking Nintendo fans out there.
Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark
You can pick when you want it to stop.
Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark
Metamorphosis.
Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark Metamorphosis! Dark
This is
Metamorphosis!
great.
Sorry, I'm done now.
This is great. 2 comments, great. Northern says, what a podcast so far. And Cumulative says, I like the part where they say Dark Metamorphosis.
Or Dark Metamorphosis.
Gee.
The show's going nowhere this week. Rocky says, top quality as always, guys. Oh, man. Anyway.
Gee. It's sure. Gee. It's sure. Gee.
It
It's sure. Gee. It's sure.
Please stop. Anyway,
Credit.
here's some
Anyway,
tidbits that
back to
Nintendo
the-
shared. Nintendo says they are aware of game addiction. But it isn't about the games themselves. It's about the person. But they said they still provide
Blame it
methods
on the person.
to help people from spending so much time at their games. You know, there's time limits and stuff like that that can be put into place, especially if you're working with kids. Kind of if you're an adult, you're not going to be able to fool yourself into
I mean, they've been doing that since the way.
putting limits.
They said,
Well, hey,
Take
these
a
are
break.
questions that they were asked.
"Oh, was it the Wii or the 3DS
What?
or the DS or something?"
I don't
Make
even know.
sure to take a break.
The Wii,
while
I
you
think,
play.
did that.
The Wii started it, as far as I remember. Yes.
Oh, really? The Wii started it.
Real sure.
Yeah, but yeah, these are questions that they were asked by investors and analysts, so that's why they made these statements. Otherwise, Nintendo wouldn't be talking about it. Like I talked about on last week's show, yeah, Splatoon 2 addiction over in Japan.
Addiction.
Nintendo's very proud of the amount of women that they have working in their company. They say they have a lot of women working on the software development side, but not really in the hardware side. That's just because they found that more people or more women are interested in the software development than hardware development. But obviously, they're looking to bring in more women on that side as well. But they like to think they create a very good environment for female employees as well, because they say, not only are they accommodating when women are trying to start a family and having kids, they also have internal daycare programs and stuff like that. So they say we do everything we absolutely can to try and make this a workplace that's good for everyone, men and women. Hello, Philip. Thanks for joining us.
So wait, that's rude.
What?
They feel they need daycare to take care of the women while they're
That's
working?
right. I was waiting for someone to make that joke.
I'm sure they can take care of themselves.
The Nintendo says in the span of a few decades, game development has become much more streamlined, but development teams have grown larger. And now they can have developers work together from any location in the world. Obviously, the scope of these game projects has grown in the years as well, but Nintendo's experience and know-how in making games has helped them to better tackle any issues that come up with that. They say their first-party games are rarely delayed, and all Switch games planned to launch in 2019, including unannounced titles, are going to launch without delays. So they're saying everything is definitely on track. Anything we got planned for 2019 is coming out 2019. Miyamoto right now is in the process of guiding younger developers at the company, and he says it's important to nurture developers in making games and making sure that they have fun as a core concept of those games. And these developers repeatedly refine their game concepts and ideas to ensure that they are fun for everyone. So Miyamoto's been talking. Hello, El Jabalina. Hello, Tommy. Nintendo's been talking about, or Miyamoto specifically has been talking about how it's not just important to bring in new developers and nurture them. It's also important to make sure that they bring on developers that have like Nintendo's essence in how they create games, because it's not just about making good games. It's about making games in the style that Nintendo makes games. So that's what Miyamoto's working on right now.
Do they capture Nintendo's essence and put it in sparkling water like La Cour?
Miyamoto just like drools into a bottle and the employees have to drink it. New employees. Nintendo felt they didn't do enough to convey the appeal of the Switch in this past holiday season, and they have plans to bump that up. Yeah, they're looking to overall increase the appeal of the Switch to consumers. But as we said last week, things are going quite well. Hello, Ghostly Yoshi. Have I ever seen that name before? If I have, and I don't remember, I apologize. If not, thanks for joining us. Entropy says, oh, just show me something from Bayonetta 3 already. Platinum and Nintendo, at least a trailer, as you did with Bayonetta 2. We got a trailer, didn't we? A teaser trailer. It was her spinning around and stuff.
Oh, maybe these comments from before.
Oh, no, like this trailer came out a long time ago.
Okay.
Not a long time
So what's
ago.
his excuse?
I think people, I don't want to say this and sound rude. When Nintendo has their quarterly reports and investor briefings, a lot of people are angry that Nintendo isn't like, here's a new game, here's a new trailer, but that's not what the purpose of these things are.
Investors meetings.
Yeah, that's like for Nintendo Directs and E3s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've said this before. The investors meetings are when like rich people come to complain that
they're not selling
and
well enough.
They say they don't care about video games and they ask where their money is.
That's really what it is. Or they go, and this is also true in case you forgot or don't know, investor briefings are where investors go to ask Nintendo who does the landscaping outside of your building because it looks great.
So they really?
Somebody asked that at an investor briefing.
I mean, it was nice of them to like say something complimentary.
I guess, yeah, but like Nintendo answers roughly 10 to 15 questions during the investor briefing. There's hundreds of people there, and one of them is a guy going, "Hey, who does the bushes outside? I love the way they look." So,
well, you see,
but at least Nintendo, you're right, was like, "Okay, this is his question, and we will answer it." And Gave him an answer. Moving on. Smith, yes.
Yeah. Well, then analysts say,
Thank you.
Nintendo's landscaping looks amazing. Buy.
Yeah, right. Nintendo stock rises 10% based on landscaping.
Yeah.
That might do it.
Their shrubbery's going brown. Sell. Like, I guess, yeah, if things are going well and they have the money, the moolah, they're going to put it into
Things are going well for WWE stock. Closed at 85 yesterday.
That's great. I sold it when it was much lower.
Jump back in. It'll go over 100 before the
no.
year's over.
Oh, and I'm gonna put your money in there. How about that?
I was
You're
just,
so conscious.
just trying to be nice. All right, moving on. Smash Brothers Ultimate has more
Don't
DLC
get
coming
too
out
cocky.
for a long time now.
Is there one in there that says "Give me my money"?
There's money.
There's one that just says money, but it's kind of hard to hear for some reason.
Money.
And it's just quick.
Money.
So quick.
For some reason, the wave files are a little.
That's like
Quieter.
ripped straight from the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to bump it up in Audacity and then add it back in.
We're
I'll tweak the 4D, 3D. Smash Brothers Ultimate DLC is coming out. Everybody's trying to figure out who the other characters are. There's been a rumor now that one of the characters is going to be from Dragon Quest, and now we have our biggest hint of that. And believe it or not, it comes from a Nintendo employee. So there's a bit of a backstory here to explain why this is such an interesting tease. Back when Smash Brothers Ultimate originally came out, data miners were going through the game, and in the source code, they found a code name for the character Brave. And many were speculating that this was tied to Dragon Quest because of item names in Dragon Quest and character names and stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah.
There's a character named Brave.
No, but like there's the Brave Shield, which is the shield of a character and stuff like that.
I think Brave would
they
be
don't
a
want
nice
to-
name for a big dog.
They don't want the code names. Like Nintendo knows people are going to pour through source code.
Sorry.
That's from the past.
Why don't you ever mute your phone?
I think he was doing
I
it on
did,
purpose.
but then I turned it off because I couldn't hear it.
So then moving on, after that, Shinya Kumazaki, who's the supervisor for Smash Brothers Ultimate, he posted up a picture of Kirby on his Instagram account, but Kirby was standing with a shield from the Dragon Quest series. So everybody's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And in the comments of his post, hello, Stefan, he says that it's Brave's shield. So, I mean, that's a lot of different things coming together for this not to be true. Either he's being a huge troll, or he's teasing that, yes, there is going to be Dragon Quest DLC for Smash Brothers. Ezreal says, yes, please. I wanted Sora and Kingdom Hearts, but I'll feel fine if it's Dragon Quest instead. Well, cross your fingers, my friend, because it seems like it's going that way.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, when you said Brave, I thought you were talking about the Pixar movie.
So I thought,
No.
but that's not her name, right? What's her name?
I have
it's
not seen it.
Merida. I haven't seen it.
I've
either.
seen like bits and pieces, but
I saw it back in the day.
I believe it's one of their lesser appreciated movies.
It's no Cars too. Let's,
Oh yes, or
Or Planes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I believe.
Hey guys, we got some great news on Wargroove.
Well, finally.
So Wargroove took a long time to come out. Was delayed a few times there, but it is now available, and it seems fans were still eager to
Wargroove.
check it out. They put up a new post on their development blog, and it says, first of all, I want to say how humbled and thankful we are. Nope.
Yep.
First of all, I want to
here.
say how humbled and thankful we all are here at Chucklefish for the incredible launch weekend. It's truly been amazing. We've already covered the cost of development and are throwing ourselves into improving the game further. So this was the first week of the game's launch, and development costs were already recouped on the project. So it's going quite well. Today, we learned that Wargroove is on the eShop, the #1 game for eShop only releases, and the #1 game on the Switch overall. So on the overall charts, it's beating out stuff like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Smash Brothers Ultimate. So Wargroove is #1 above them. Hello, Swedish Galaxy. So that's fantastic news. I can only imagine how much money they've made so far. Impure Kind says, nice one. They deserved it for doing what Nintendo don't. That is true. Nintendo hasn't made a new Advance Wars in quite some time. So Chucklefish was like, let's do our own take on that. Obviously, it has some different twists in there, like we talked about last week. But yes, fans of one series will likely like this one as well. Moving on. We talked about this last week too.
Why
How
are we talking about it this week?
crazy
right?
analysts
Am I
are
This
with
guy.
Nintendo's numbers. So no matter how well Nintendo does, it seems like the majority of analysts are like they're doing terrible. Hello, Wouter, because Nintendo's always doomed. It's that's the meme. But one analyst was like, I'm real tired of this. I'm going to set the record straight. Ace Research Institute analyst Hideki Yasuda put out a little report, and he says the Switch sold 14.5 million units so far in the first 3 quarters of this fiscal year, and 32 million units shipped in the console's lifetime as of, I guess, the end of January it was. And he wanted to show that when you align the Switch with the PS4 at the same point in the PS4's lifespan, the Switch is actually 3 million units ahead of what the PS4 was. So he's saying PS4 is widely regarded as one of the best-selling platforms of all time, a major success. And he's like, there's no way you can say the PS4 is a success and then say the Switch is not doing well. It's simply not true in any way, shape, or form.
I'm going to say that is way too long-winded for an explanation, and I've already sold my Nintendo shares from when he started talking to when he finished.
So I'm just glad an analyst made a point of saying, like, listen, I don't know why these other comments are out there. I don't understand how anyone can look at the data and think that, which is what we said last week. So,
Analyst?
no, please, I'd like to hear this.
Well, I just looked at the word analyst, and it made me think anal cyst.
Analyst, more like anal cyst.
Premium, more like cremula.
Wire says, it's been very disappointing to see some of the inaccurate headlines from mainstream news outlets. I agree, my friend, but I'm not one who's going to be like, hey, so-and-so on Twitter.
Die, monster.
Die, monster. maybe I should say that.
Oh, sure.
Just out of context. We have news on Mega Man,
He's still a robot boy.
the super fighting robot. We have great news. So I was a little worried about Mega Man 11 because Mega Man 11 came out. It was on the monthly NPD chart for Switch, but not for other platforms. And then the month after it released, it disappeared from all those charts. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. But it turns out...
Talk about the blue bomber.
Oh! I thought about making that joke when I was writing this post.
I thought it just came up.
I was thinking
The
about
good
him
news
going
is-
into a bathroom and blowing that up.
We now know
Blue
that the
bomber
majority of
toys.
people... the majority of people were buying the game digitally. So Capcom put out their quarterly report, and they said Mega Man 11 had strong sales, but then they didn't tell how many it actually sold until the next day. We now know the game has
That's
sold
no good.
870,000 units worldwide, which is fantastic. I thought for sure the game was at like 200,000. So that's really, really, really great news. Also worth pointing out, Mega Man X Legacy Collection, they didn't differentiate between 1 or 2, so I'm guessing it's both combined. Sold 920,000 units, so that's also doing well. Let me put this in perspective. The Mega Man franchise in general has sold 34 million units altogether. There's like, I want to say easy, there's 100 games that have Mega Man in it. And only 5 games. Yeah, with Mega Man, without a doubt.
Wow.
He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. And in that lineage of games, there's only been 5 Mega Man games that have broken 1 million in sales. So here we have 2 more that are just about to do it. So that shows very good things for the Mega Man franchise going forward. Without a doubt, I think by the end of 2019, Mega Man 11 will have sold 1 million units. You get like a sale going in there, no problem. It'll break 1 million units. So that's great news. We'll have another millions. Likely we'll have 2 more million sellers in the Mega Man franchise.
Yeah, but he didn't sell 1 million yet, so it's a failure.
There we go. King Broly says, I wish they had put more effort into the quality of the Super Nintendo games on the X collection. Basically unplayable for me due to insane input lag. I've not played those, so I don't know, but I have heard some complaints. Seems like that's that's Capcom's way of handling Mega Man collections. There's usually there's usually some big issue with the collection, like the GameCube collection.
Yeah, where you were so mad because they switched the buttons.
Every time I look at that game on the shelf, I'm still mad at it. How do you do that? And then not even give the consumer the option to change the controls in the options menu. I don't understand. How do you make a collection of Mega Man games and reverse the only 2 buttons that you use? I don't understand.
They had to have done it. They were just being dicks.
Yeah, right. They did it on purpose. Somebody was like, "I'm tired of Mega Man games."
Yeah, but who makes Mega Man? Capcom.
Or
And they make-
Capcom.
But the collections are usually made by other companies.
I was gonna say Resident Evil. Those controls have always been backwards from intuitive controls.
They haven't.
Right?
No, I haven't played Resident Evil 2, the remake, so I don't know if they still.
I'm talking historically. They're always weird controls.
I'm trying to get to the whole point here. The original Resident Evil series, like the majority of them had tank controls, is what they were called. But more recent games in the series have not had tank controls.
Yeah, ever since like 4,
tank controls are like, imagine if you had the tank treads, like your left joystick is like your gas and your reverse, and your right joystick is your turning. And in Resident Evil, that's how your character worked. You pushed up, and whatever direction your character was facing, that's the way they would go.
But even like your action buttons were always like not your standard like.
They still do that though. You have to pull out your gun to ready it, like usually with a trigger, and then hit a button to fire. Yeah.
Tank controls. When was the last time you rode a tank?
I mean, that's just what they're called. I mean, that's.
Oh, so you're not talking from.
No, this isn't something I made up.
That's what everyone calls them.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
First account or whatever.
This guy.
No, just making sure. I want everybody to know.
No, I didn't coin a new phrase there.
Not that you're coining a new phrase. I just want to know your experience in it.
I drive a lot of tanks. South by Southwest usually features some gaming panels, and this year is no different. While there is a Zelda panel, it's not officially done by Nintendo. It's just somebody else talking about the psychology of Zelda. It's still worth checking out. But there is, as there usually is, a Sega panel, and it's always focused on Sonic, and that is indeed the case this year. And each time they do a panel South by Southwest, they announce something new for Sonic, and they're doing that again this time. The official announcement says they're hosting Sega's hosting
upcoming movie.
Sega's hosting a panel called Gotta Go Fast, the official Sonic the Hedgehog panel. Sonic the Hedgehog is back at South by Southwest, drawing special guests from Sega and Sonic Team as they talk about the latest for the Blue Blur and his next steps for 2019 and beyond. There's almost always a special announcement or two to be had, so be sure to purchase your blah, 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 blah. So we're going to get something, and Nikki Hill is potentially right there. I'm sure they'll talk about Team Sonic Racing, which is on the way. But also, yes, I wouldn't be surprised, since South by Southwest obviously has a film focus as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they showed something for the movie. Because we've seen, I mean, I can't even get started on it.
So I saw the cardboard thing at the movies yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
the one where he's sitting on the Golden Gate Bridge? Or
yeah, so apparently he ran really fast across the Golden Gate Bridge, got up to the top, and just plopped down. And
then put a camera on his crotch.
Yeah.
Took a picture.
Dick pic, but from the perspective of the dick.
Well, I mean, it could be.
He was trying to take a dick pic.
He's got like a GoPro on his belt, maybe.
His belt? What?
Doesn't he have a belt?
No,
Sonic's famous belt.
He wears sneakers, and that's it.
Sneakers and a belt.
Yeah, he put on a cape at one point, or a cowl, whatever you want to call it, and people freaked out.
No, I thought it was a scarf.
Scarf, whatever. It flies
Like
around
A
like
scarf. You're
well, like
talking about
dangles behind them like
Prince
a
of
cape.
Persia.
The cowl was like a hood.
Yeah, a cowl's a big
Wood.
a cowl's a big scarf that sits around your neck. It's one big loop.
Then why does Batman wear a cowl?
That's a helmet cowl.
I don't know what his problem is.
Checkpoint, atheist.
Wait, are you asking why he wears a cowl?
It's a hood. It's like a hood.
I just like imagining Batman in just like a scarf draped over his face. He doesn't know where he put his bat suit, so he's like, that's all I have to do.
Yeah, it would be like Daredevil.
Autumnal Blake says, psychology of Zelda sounds unusual. I'd rather hear about the game design, but it could be interesting. I wouldn't say Zelda is the most psychologically impactful game there is. Oh, yes, it should be interesting.
I saw that cardboard cutout, and I was like,
I'll see that movie.
Sonic's got some great legs.
Yeah, he does, man. Some great human legs.
What do you want from him?
Hedgehog
He's
legs.
a humanoid hedgehog from Edgelandia.
I'm not getting into it again because I get way too fired up. Respawn,
Hold on.
who has created the Titanfall series, has just recently released Apex Legends, a free-to-play game that takes place in the Titanfall universe, and it's become quite the hit. As far as I know, it has had 10 million downloads, and it had 1 million concurrent players already. So it's a big deal. And fans are like, hey, you going to bring that thing to the Switch?
So you would rather Sonic's legs just be long and lanky weird things?
I would rather
be legs that actually have musculature.
Yeah, I would. You know what I want Sonic to look like? What he looks like. That's what I want him to look like. I don't want to redesign human-esque Sonic the Hedgehog.
Look at that thigh gap. It is unattainable, and it's send the wrong image to people.
That is true. That is very true. Respawn talked about the potential for bringing the game to the Switch. Respawn's lead producer, Drew McCoy, says that the team would love to bring Apex Legends to Switch, but there's, quote, nothing they can currently talk about pertaining to that.
Look, he's got, in this photo,
We've done all this
he's
already.
got super skinny legs that, under the weight of that belly, snap like a twig.
Okay, thank you. So we brought this up, as many other people did. Back before the Switch launched, Respawn was asked about the potential for Titanfall 2 on the Switch, and they said that just couldn't happen, and they laughed about it. Now, you know, the Switch is doing well, times have changed, so they're like, oh, we'd love to do it. We'll see what happens.
That's my issue, is his shoes.
Endgamer01 says, EA wouldn't allow it anyways. Let EA continue to self-destruct until shareholders oust all executives blocking Switch support. Otherwise, Fortnite and Epic will just clean their clocks like how they clean Activision and Call of Duty's clock. Fortnite is taking all Nintendo money Activision left. Well, someone is obviously very angry about this situation. And I'm not saying there's something not worth being angry about, but we'll see what happens. I would like to see the game come to Switch. I downloaded it last night. I haven't played it yet. Hello, DG. Thanks for joining us.
DG.
Your next Switch Online NES your next Switch Online NES games come out on February 13th. And this time we got two heavy hitters joining the lineup. Kirby's Adventure, one of the finest Kirby games in the entire series, is coming out, as is one of Mom Brain's favorite games of all time.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Nope.
Pat Trap.
Nope.
Like
Good guess.
Lucky.
No. Super Mario Brothers 2 is coming out. So
What, it's her favorite game because
it's weird.
It ends up being all about him sleeping?
Spoiler!
Speaking of, guess what I'm reading?
Well,
She's asking you, I know.
Something about sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Should I know it?
It's a comic.
About sleeping?
Yep.
A sleeping comic? Little Nemo.
Oh, I know. I just figured it out.
Anytime, Mom Brain.
The Sandman.
It's
excellent.
Yeah, I have the one omnibus. It's too intimidating. I should have gotten smaller ones.
Highly and Tom also guessed.
Yeah, I could see that being real.
Highly and Tom also guessed Little Nemo. Mr. Life has the top rated comment, and he says,
Do they sleep in that? Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, he's the Sandman.
Mr. Life says, Kirby's Adventure is one of the best NES games. Don't at me. I wouldn't at you because I agree with you. I also think it's one of the best NES games. It also happened to be one of the last
Don't
NES
insult
games.
me on Twitter,
That's what it means.
dog.
Oh my god.
With a W.
I hate this world.
You couldn't figure that out? I
No.
think if you thought about it, you could figure it
I
out.
can figure
Where do
it
you
out.
use ats?
I don't have Twitter.
That's not what I asked. I said, where do you use them? Like you don't know you use them.
I don't use them because what does an A in a little shell do? Nothing.
It protects itself from the outside world.
Don't be. You're so extra.
See,
Oh.
yeah, see, you know what's up. You just
No,
like to
I
pretend.
hate that garbage lingo. We talked about this that one night. I hate it
Why? Why does it make you so mad?
because, like, just speak using real words that are already in existence. Don't make new words for different.
Is that why you got so mad at
words.
tank controls?
I think it's important to make new
No,
words and meanings.
I got mad at tank controls because you never set foot in a tank, so you don't know.
You can't use that.
I feel like
term.
it's important to find new words to define the human experience.
I don't see why it's something that would make someone upset.
I know why it would make someone upset.
Why?
Because They're getting old.
They're feeling out of touch. Take-Two has announced that NBA 2K19 has exceeded their sales expectations. But more importantly, Civilization 6 on Switch has, let me get their exact wording here, significantly exceeded expectations. Bravo, everybody.
That game is straight fire. It's lit.
Becky Lynch fan, good for you. Shillelagh sent us this news. Thank you for sending it our way. I'm really glad to hear that game sold well. Again, we always hear about games selling well on the Switch, but then there's some games you wonder what's going on with them. Like this one. I didn't know how well Civ sold on the Switch, and now we know. Did really well.
We need to know how to rebuild civilizations.
Strauss Zelnick.
Like, at me, bro.
Whatever. CEO Strauss Zelnick says, we felt good about
them. Come at me, bro.
Well, all of them.
But that's not about Twitter. That's just come at me, bro.
Right. And then they decided, oh, we got to use...
But that's an Irishman speaking. Or a pirate. Myself laughing.
You are.
Anyway, let me say this from their CEO. We felt good about the Switch, and we put the titles on Switch that we felt were going to perform well. We are excited about continuing to support the Switch for the right kind of properties. Well, I don't know what the right kind of properties is, but when it comes to Take-Two, I guess there's some variety there. They did a WWE game, which was terrible. They did NBA 2K 18 and 19, so sports games when other companies aren't really doing that. They did Civilization 6, which is a strategy game that worked out. So it's what I'm trying to say is they're at least trying different genres on the Switch, which I appreciate. Whether we'll get their, big games, I don't know if they're going to shell out the cash to have those ported over, but I can appreciate the support they are giving. Tanuki Trooper says, hope that means releasing Civ 6's expansions. Well, you would think that if it exceeded expectations, then yeah, they put out the expansions. But, I don't run a multi-billion-dollar business, so.
Wait, you don't?
I don't.
Oh.
You know who does?
Right.
Oh, my God, great segue. Thanks, Ninja. Niantic has...
I'm not a ninja. Look at these.
Niantic has continued to see great results from Pokemon Go. In January of 2019, Pokemon Go made $68 million. That is an 85% increase over January of last year.
Incredible!
The game's total revenue right now is at $2.3 billion worldwide. Japan is the most popular territory for revenue.
That's it.
35% of it comes from there, and U.S. is the second with 29%. But yeah, $68 million made in January 2019 alone. That game is just kicking ass every month. Joe, she showed off her booties or socks or whatever.
They're slippers and they're unicorns.
Sean Snocta says Pokemon.
And they're PJ Couture.
Sean Snocta. Yeah, I just read that they said that.
Does that say PJ Couture?
Sean Snocta says Pokemon go to the bank. Oh, remember that meme?
No. To the moon.
Hillary Clinton.
When Lambo.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Yeah, okay.
Is that it? Go to Pokemon
go to the polls. Yeah, because everybody was playing
Clinton said
Pokemon
that?
Go. She said that, yes, and it turned into a meme because it was so
Silly.
crappy of a joke.
Hey, she had to get through to the younger demo.
I guess.
And it
I don't
worked.
know.
And it became a meme, so yeah, it works.
That's true.
Mimi, I'm a meme guy.
This is a kind of a intricate story, so I'll explain it as best I can. Funko releases a whole bunch of figurines for everything. You name it, like I don't know.
Yeah.
A popular or somewhat popular entertainment franchise.
When you say Funko, I think of Funko Land.
So do I. Every time. They make figurines for it, and that includes Pokemon. So they've announced a new line of Pokemon figurines called A Day with Pikachu. They're releasing one each month. If you go to Funko's website, you can see silhouettes for these upcoming figurines all the way up to November. But November, December, and January all say coming soon and don't have a silhouette. Why is that? Well, their site also gives you the names of what these releases are going to be. And the November 2019 one is named A Cool New Friend. New Friend. Pokemon related. There's a new Pokemon game coming out this year on Switch. It's going to have brand new Pokemon. Pokemon games usually release October, November. This is the November figurine.
When does Detective
That
Pikachu
figurine
come out?
might, April,
That's not
March
right.
or April, might include a brand new Pokemon that we are not allowed to see yet. So fans are like, look, there's proof. We're gonna get a figurine that has a new Pokemon in it. Now we can line out, or we can take a guess at when the game's going to come out, all that good stuff. So makes a lot of sense to me.
Or maybe it's just Pokemon sitting on an ice cube and they haven't actually finished the design.
Okay. Could be that too, yes. Sean Snocta says it's plausible.
Which
Makes
they could've
sense as
changed
to
the
why
name
they
to
didn't do just silhouettes.
Cool
Probably
Cheeks.
going to be 3 new starters. Yes, there are 3 non-silhouetted entries here. So they could have one for each starter. That is very true. Another leap, which I didn't make myself. Rachel, thank you. Rachel says she would buy GoNintendo Funko Pops. I don't personally like those things. I don't like their designs.
Nope.
I like that I have a Log Lady and a Dale Cooper
Yeah, sure.
because they're like little and I can put them in places where I'm like, yeah, like they got me.
I get that they're a thing. I get that they're popular. I get that people like them and collect them. That's fine. I'm just saying, me personally, like aesthetically, I don't find them.
Yeah, I wouldn't like collect, like I don't need like Bob and Laura and everybody, but it's really.
But if you got, I think Bob might kind of look cool
I
with
don't
those
want Bob,
eyes.
thank you.
North America this
You
week.
don't want Bob like staring at you. From the
Yeah,
shelf.
right.
Right? I
North America.
Dale sits on my nightstand
Was there a
protecting me.
Leland?
Yeah, there's a Leland.
Here's what we got in
I
North
bet it
America
looks
this
like,
week.
what is his name? Ray Park? What's Ray or something?
Ray Parker
No,
Jr.
wait, it's,
and
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
wait, I know this. Sorry, keep talking. I'll think of it.
Here's what we got in North America this
Ray
week.
Wise.
Ray Wise. I was just gonna say I bet it looks like Ray Wise from the 80s
We got
or the 90s.
Yokai Watch.
Because the man doesn't
Oh my
age.
god, kill me. We got Yokai Watch 3, which came out this July 2016 in Japan, and then like the third version came out. The third version of the third game came out December 2016 in Japan. Here in January or February 2019, we finally got it. It is available for so Yokai fans who have been waiting. Your day has come. We also got The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. Holy moly, am I excited for this game. It comes out February 12th. Yes. Man, I'm so excited. The day I saw the first trailer for that game in Japan, I was like, please let somebody localize this game. I love the idea of the whole game.
What's it called?
The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. It says, plucked straight from the pages of an ancient fairy tale, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince tells the story of 2 lonely hearts brought together through a mutual misunderstanding. Transform between Wolf and the Princess to solve puzzles and evade traps, collect flowers and petals to unlock fragments of memories, and weave through the dark and dangerous forest to guide the prince towards a cure. But be warned, an all-seeing forest is no place for a blind prince. I love the look of the game. I love the way it sounds. I just love I love all of it. So I'm very excited for that. Also available is Away, Journey to the Unexpected. It's a feel-good first-person shooter combined with roguelite elements. Observer, which I played already on another platform. I'm going to play again on Switch because I love it. Observer, starring Rutger Hauer. Not just his voice, his likeness as well. Basically, it's a love letter to Blade Runner, but it's not related to Blade Runner. But obviously, they were heavily inspired by Blade Runner by Rutger Hauer's in it. So if you like Blade Runner and you like mysteries and robots
And Rutger Hauer.
and neon colors and Rutger Hauer, then
I mean,
play
who
this
doesn't?
game. Just, really, check this one out.
How long is it? How long does it
It's
take
not
you?
super long. I want to say 4 to 6 hours.
Ugh.
Depends on how much time you spend like investigating things. You can like scan like a whole bunch of stuff, or you can.
What is it, a first-person game?
Yeah. There's some scenes that aren't in first person, but yes. It's a very cool game, really stylistic. But yeah, without a doubt, if you like anything Blade Runner, you should play
When
this
is the
game.
original Blade Runner supposed to take place? Only in a couple of years from now, right?
Oh my God, we got a lot of work to do.
2026 or something like that?
Is that true?
23?
It might be sooner, actually. Wait, let me check.
21.
I am so excited
Is it this
for
year?
that
Flying
for
cars.
that anime.
Because we're not getting flying cars by then.
I watched the first Captain America movie, and we had flying cars in whatever that was.
Yeah.
World
40s,
War II? In the
20s,
like the
30s.
30s and 40s?
Did the government cover it up?
Yeah, it was
Tony
supposed to be
Stark
like
had that
Tony Stark.
prototype, and then, or Tony Stark's dad had that
What
prototype.
was his
Tony
name?
Senior.
Senior.
How
Also,
How about I'm sorry, we were talking. Go ahead.
Blade Runner actually takes place in 2019.
oh my God,
We're a little behind.
we got plenty of time. The year is fresh.
So yeah, we don't have flying cars or androids or any of that.
Roth
stuff.
says Akira takes place in 2019.
Wow.
Coincidence? Neo Tokyo.
Remember when all the people were all up in arms about Return to the Future?
Return to Oz. My favorite movie,
Master
Return
Wizard.
to the Future.
The
Back
whole
to the
trilogy.
Future.
The whole trilogy is great.
Also available is 99 Moves, Access Denied, Ancient Rush 2, Moon Cresta, Blaze Blue Central Fiction Special Edition, City of Brass, which is made by a large chunk of the development team who made BioShock. Worth pointing that out. Getting excellent reviews. Defense Grid 2, Doom and Destiny. That's not Doom the game and Destiny the game. That is Doom and Destiny, all one thing. Estiman.
Sounds depressing.
Wait, they packaged them together?
I know people are going to think that. Evo Land Legendary Edition, Free Cell Battle King, Food Truck Tycoon, Glass Masquerade, Gnome's Garden, New Home, Iron Cryptical. If you're a fan of Smash TV or Gauntlet, then you would like Iron Cryptical. Magic Scroll Tactics, Mercury Race, Minesweeper Genius, yes, that Minesweeper, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 2, Dallas The Dark Call, Oniken Unstoppable Edition, Percy's Predicament Deluxe, Ping Pong Trick Shot Evolution, Pocket Academy, which also has a demo, Pumped BMX Pro, Reverie Sweet As Edition, Riot Civil Unrest, Shanky The Vegan's Nightmare, Sky Gamblers Afterburner, Solitaire Klondike Black, Solstice Chronicles Missing in Action, Spoiler Alert, Stunt Kite Party.
Spoiler alert! What is that?
I can't tell you.
How awesome would it be if it like it's a whole survey, and it asks you all these questions about things that you either know or don't, or like you've experienced, or you've read books, or you've watched shows, and then it's just page after page of like telling you how it all ends.
Oh, that's terrible.
It'd be hilarious.
Stunt Kite Party.
Like a 20 questions game, but it just ruins everything for you.
The King's Bird, which looks amazing, and its trailer has such a great song in it. Check that out.
All right.
The Stillness of the Wind, which is getting a lot of great buzz. I've heard it's basically like, Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, but with a focus on story, and it's sad. So, Toridama Brave Challenge and Vera Swings is on the 3DS eShop. So another big week of stuff. Some very exciting things in there, and I'm sure the comments will tell me the Stillness of the Wind. I'm sure comments will tell me differently. Steel Diver says a lot of crap this week. I think I get what you're doing here, Steel Diver. Nothing good until Steins Gate Elite and Trials. Steins Gate Elite. I mean,
That game sucks.
to tell you the truth, both of them I'm very excited for you. Right? I love Steins Gate in general, so yeah, I'm down for more of that. And I also love the Trials franchise. I love the ragdoll physics and I love the side scroller view. So yeah, I agree. I'm excited for both of those. I disagree with your week full of crap comment though. Europe. What our friends in Europe get? They got a demo for Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. That's the 3DS version.
Extra. So extra.
It's the 3DS version of that Wii game. Etrian Odyssey Nexus. Whole bunch of DLC as usual. Switch got Observer, The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, Avenger Bird, Ping Pong Trick Shot Evolution, The Path of Modus, Warhammer Quest, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 2, Riot Civil Unrest, Puzzle Bobble 2, Away, Journey to the Unexpected, Commander Keen and Keen Dreams. For some reason, out of nowhere, the fourth Commander Keen game came out on the Switch. It's also available in North America, and they didn't even put it in the press release. I don't know why, but that is cool. Defense Grid 2, Estiman, Evo Land Legendary Edition, Gnome's Garden New Home.
Who is this?
Cube, but spelled Kyub. So K-Yub, if you want to say that. Magic Scroll Tactics Mercury Race, Percy's Predicament Deluxe, Pizza Parking, Pocket Academy, Pumped BMX Pro, Reverie Sweet As Edition, Sky Gamblers, Solstice Chronicles MIA.
Sky Gamblers?
Sky Gamblers, yes.
That's what
But
it
it's just it's dog fights. That's what it is.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you know, in planes.
Oh, so it's
I
not
don't
about
support
like
dog fights.
So it's not about
it's
like
about gambling your life in the sky.
okay. So it's not literally about like big casinos on like airships.
No,
in the sky?
no, that game idea is not taken.
That's
Yours for the taking.
This Kingbird game is.
Looks great.
It just makes me look. It makes me think that like somebody.
I know.
It's
It's
really
too
good at
hard.
playing
Yeah, I know.
this.
You say the same thing about all
Well,
this.
they may just make it look easy.
Surfingers, the Rains Down Players,
They should
the
make it
Stillness
look
of the Wind,
realistic. Like,
Blaze Blue,
No,
Blaze
what are you
Blue
doing?
Central Fiction Special
They should
Edition,
have trailers where you're playing the game.
yeah, and no one will buy them.
Guacamelee 2 Complete.
Is that out already?
Guacamelee 2 came out a while ago, and they're doing a special retail version that's the first game and the second game together, if you want. 99 moves. 20. What is this? What?
The
Huh?
Kingbird.
What?
I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. This says that
What the heck?
2064 read-only memories integrals out in Europe. Was it not out in Europe before? Hello, 3K Films. And it also says it's free. That can't be right.
Okay.
That game came out a long time ago here. Maybe it wasn't in Europe and I didn't know, but for it to be free, can somebody check that out, please? Access denied, City of Brass, Doom and Destiny, Food Truck Tycoon, Glass Masquerade, Mimic Hunter, Odalis, Oniken, Stunt Kite Party, The Path of Modus has a demo, and Pocket Academy has a demo. Mom Brain, let me check if there's any themes. I'm sorry, there are no themes. Although in Japan, a new Hello Kitty game was announced for Switch this week, so
Excellent.
I'll just throw that out there. Sean Stockton says, "Oh, no themes again. Hello Kitty has been forsaken." Apparently, well, I guess we know why. Hello Kitty's been busy working on a brand new game rather than just themes. Here's some really cool information from EEDAR, who does a lot of research and analysis of video game stuff. They took a look at what's up with the Switch, and they say, one of the interesting things they've observed is this shift when comparing the current demographic of all owners of the Switch versus the early adopters. According to them, in North America, 50% of Switch owners are male and 50% are female. Whereas in quarter 2, 2017, the split was 30 female, 70 male. So in between the games that came out now and then, the split is 50-50 here in the States.
Do you think that's true, or did somebody just not do a survey? Like
EEDAR is, I've worked with and known them for a very long time. EEDAR.
EEDAR.
They do a lot of good research. I trust them. So, okay, let's
Beans.
not do that.
Come on, Beans.
Also, we have a breakdown of the age groups. The biggest age group of Switch players is 18 to 24, which is followed by 25 to 29, which is followed by 30 to 34, which is followed by 35 to 44, which is followed by 45 to 54, and then followed by 55 plus. So there's a good, like, basically 18 to 44 is a very sizable group of players, which is pretty damn cool. That's just a small snippet of their report, which is chock full of really interesting information. So make sure to check that out. Okay. Thanks for coming, man. We appreciate it. Now go to Garbage Town. There you go.
Oh, look at them.
I love my Garbage Town. First comment comes from Autumnal Blake, and he says, "It would be very interesting to see a comparison of this with the Wii and or the Wii U." I don't think you want to see the Wii U. Maybe the Wii, though. I did my review of Yokai Watch 3, which you can check out. Hello, the preliminary. Oh, the preliminary cat guy is in chat, and he got really excited when the cat came up, and then he got disappointed. Oh, everybody's disappointed the cat's gone. Well, if you want the show to continue.
Wait, his name is Preliminary Cat Guy?
The preliminary cat guy, yes. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate has moved 1.2 million units on Switch. Get out of here. After months and months of people begging Capcom to bring that game out in the States, they finally did it, and it helped our States and Europe, and it helped raise the tally for the game. So it has sold 1.2 million units worldwide, which is fantastic because A, the game was hardly promoted at all. B, it's a port of a game we already had for a long time that's just slightly enhanced, and it still broke 1 million units sold. And hopefully that means we're going to get more Monster Hunter games on the Switch and new ones at that. King Broly has a top-rated comment, and he says, Capcom. This is Capcom talking. Capcom says, how do we sabotage our Switch games? Put them out with no marketing, and months after our biggest series push ever, so no one buys it. Huzzah! A few months later, Capcom. Damn. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why Capcom sent one game to die, and the other one they wanted to pump up after they spent so many years building up Monster Hunter franchise on Nintendo platforms. Obviously, it was on PSP and other stuff as well, but there was a large portion of the time there where it was, you want Monster Hunter, you play it on Nintendo platforms.
They make a lot of bad decisions, don't they?
Yeah, but I guess they're not bad because it works well for them.
Okay.
It sold over 1 million units. Monster Hunter World sold over, I think, 11 million units so far. The biggest, not just the biggest or the fastest selling Monster Hunter game, but the fastest selling game Capcom's ever had. So I think what it was is they wanted Monster Hunter World to have room to breathe, and they didn't want people to get confused with Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. So after Monster Hunter World had had its few months on the market, then they were like, okay, we'll put out this other one. I think that's what it was. We have a rumor that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct on February 13th, 2019. This rumor comes from King Zell. Who the hell's King Zell? Well, he's someone who has a very good, very long track record of telling people when the next Direct was going to happen and other Nintendo inside information. He's extremely trustworthy. He is hinting at people are still trying to decipher what he's saying. He's either saying there's a Direct on the 13th of this month or a Direct 13 days from when he posted this message. But the 13th makes more sense because it's a Wednesday, and that falls in line with when Nintendo has been doing. Yeah, it falls in line with when Nintendo's been doing Directs lately. So, according to him,
Winter Soldier funny coming in, so we got to get to the store.
You might have to go on your own. You're gonna have to get the full list for me the first time to really pick it up. Can you handle that?
Yeah. Funny? What?
Comment?
I've been joking with him and telling him.
Oh, like the
You reading your funnies?
Yeah.
Nothing. Just read your funnies.
According to King Zell, he says that Metroid Prime Trilogy is pretty much a lock for this Nintendo Direct. Outside of that, he says there's plenty of other games that Nintendo could talk about that are in the works, but he's not confirming they're going to be part of it. He mentions games like, I said Pikmin 3 and I meant Pikmin 4. Sorry about that. Super Mario Maker 2, Box Boy, Pokemon, a new 2D Zelda, and other stuff. We'll see what happens. He also said there should be some stuff from third-party people in there. Whoa, that's the wrong button. We'll see what happens, my friends. I hope there is a Direct. I know everyone's hungry for a Direct. This has been the longest time between Directs that Nintendo has ever had. It just broke a record a couple days ago of how many days passed since a Direct. We're in the longest run right now. Marlo says,
I don't believe it.
I hope it's true. I need me some delicious Nintendo news. Well, I'd say chances are pretty good, my friend. We have a quick rumor about John Cena. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible because we're running late. There's this guy. His name's Boss Logic. He's an artist. Boss Logic did a piece of art, or Boss Logic has been doing art for Mortal Kombat just for fun, just fan art. And he's been picking real-life celebrities that would be good fits for roles in the Mortal Kombat universe. Perhaps if they did another movie, or maybe he's just saying these actors would be a good fit. He's done a whole series of them, and one of them he did was John Cena. He picked John Cena as Stryker, did a piece of art for it. The artwork was retweeted by Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, and he said that the choice was a quote, good casting. That's what Ed Boon said. That was that. Like I said, he's been doing a whole series of art now for all that. Here's where things get interesting. John Cena on his Instagram tweeted out another piece of art as himself, as Stryker. Now, if you don't follow John Cena's Instagram, here's how it works. He never makes comments. He only posts images that are related to something going on in his life.
Okay.
or in his world around him. So, for example,
Did he post about his divorce?
well, he wasn't married. So, his original. I don't know if he did.
Either of his divorces?
No, he only had one divorce. He wasn't married to Nikki Bella.
Okay. Never mind.
For example, Dean Ambrose, recently we found out Dean Ambrose is not going to renew his contract at WWE. He's taking a break from wrestling altogether. John Cena, without comment, posted a very old picture of Dean Ambrose on his Instagram account, and that was that. That's just what John Cena does. So everybody's like, yes, he does. Everybody's like, maybe he's going to be a part of Mortal Kombat. Maybe he's really going to be Stryker in a new game. This leads us back to a comment that Ed Boon made a few months ago. Ed Boon said, our faces, our actors, we find, real people to scan their entire face. It's not a 3D model. Sculpting a nose, sculpting a face, stuff like that. It's actually real people. And we have, I'll tell you this, we have a huge, huge surprise coming up for a face you're going to see in Mortal Kombat. And some people are going to say, it's Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is the voice of Sonya Blade, but she's not the face of Sonya Blade. The face is a different person. They are not the same. So that means, based on that, we have not seen the character that would relate to this statement from Mr. Boone, which could point to John Cena really being Stryker in Mortal Kombat 11.
Wow.
So that would be really interesting. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and they all make a good amount of sense right now. First comment comes from Sean Snockton. He says, why did you embed an empty Instagram post? John Cena, you can't see me. That's what that's about. Because it's the top-rated comment.
Oh.
I talked about Mega Man already. We don't need to do that one. And I will end on this story about Tangledeep. Tangledeep came out on the Switch very recently, and it's another big success story for the Switch and for the developers. Earlier in the week, the Tangledeep team said they didn't have the full first week of sales data yet, but early sales for the game on Switch almost recouped their entire development costs of porting the game to the Switch. It was originally on Steam. They brought it to Switch. Now we have the full week of data, and it's crazy. The developers have said that the first full week of sales on... Hello, the Namekian Clown. The first full week of sales on Switch for Tangledeep equaled what the game sold in its first 6 months on Steam. In 1 week, the Switch tied 6 months worth of sales on Steam. That is a huge achievement. And they say if sales continue to keep up like this, they'll have plans for DLC. So that's great news. Drew says, I wish more of these stories would be showcased by major news outlets rather than half-assed rumors about hardware revisions and not meeting sales projections. Well, Drew, you got to have the juicy headlines to get the attention. So, and people like stories that are speculative and cause debate.
Provocative.
Provocative, yes. They don't like, stuff like this. But I do. Hello, Colma. Colma's here live.
Well, hey, Colma.
Colma says, it's been so long since I've been here live. Well, thanks for joining us, Colma. Should you be at work? Should we take care of that kid? Thanks for joining us. All right, that's our top stories for today. Let's do...
Deep about.
You wouldn't like it.
Copy that.
Why aren't you watching the trailer?
Copy that. It's a dungeon crawler RPG, basically. It looks intriguing, but it scares me because I know I'm not that good at those type of games. But it makes me want to play them more. But I'm still scared. All right, Kirby, what have you been playing?
Scared boy?
Well, here's why I was late today. I was busy finishing Spider-Man.
Oh!
It took a little longer than I was
The
expecting.
PlayStation 4 version?
Yes, that Spider-Man.
What'd you think?
Well, there's no symbiote suit, so 2 out of 10 for me.
Yet.
Is that going to be like DLC?
I
or
have
some
no idea.
crap?
All I know is people give
Sequels.
what is it? Insomniac did that game?
Yeah.
They give Insomniac a hard time on social media about why isn't this suit in it?
Well,
Why
they
isn't that
should.
suit?
There's like how many suits in that game, and like the only one that I cared about isn't in the game.
Everyone, well,
Yeah,
other people are like, I want Sam Raimi's Spider-Man suit and all this stuff, and
But we gotta think sequels.
I want Spider.
I'm sure they're thinking
There is a lot of
Ham.
there is a lot of sequel baiting in the multiple mid and post credit
Multiple
sequences, cutscenes.
I'm down for a sequel. I thought that game was great. I had my issues with it, obviously story-wise, but I loved the gameplay. Some of the missions were silly, but just the gameplay itself was very satisfying.
I'd say my least favorite missions were the some of the Taskmaster challenges, and those were the ones that I just when I was trying to wrap up all the side missions, those were like the last ones I got to today.
The tube says Symbiote Suit's going to come out $100 DLC.
Oh, and you finished 100%.
Yeah. Ooh,
that makes two of us.
But now that means that I've beaten the game, and it's like, you can keep playing, but I have nothing to do.
You can get the DLC.
That's true. I could.
I haven't gotten it yet either. I'm going to.
Black Cat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Black Cat.
Speaking of comic book characters, Taskmaster
looks like
is
the Super
a
Shredder.
Yes, I thought that, but that is a really funny bad name. Like that's your superhero name or supervillain name, Taskmaster.
And, yeah. Also, I'd like to say the subplot involving him was so lame and disappointing.
It was.
Like, what happens? You fight him again, and then he just says,
"Spoiler alert."
Some guys hired me because they want to recruit you and they'll pay you lots of money. And Spider-Man's like, nah, I don't need money. And then Taskmaster just escapes, and then it's over.
But the thing is, Spider-Man does need money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, take the money, Spider-Man.
Yeah, right?
Like you lost your apartment. You're a bum.
You are a bum. That's true. You play anything else?
Well, I'm not done talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, please go right ahead.
Do we have time for me to keep
going?
Don't
worry about it.
Okay. And one thing that I was going to complain about, at some points over the past few weeks, is that
he's more man than Spider.
No, is that I didn't like the fact that the weather cycle doesn't change randomly. It'll change during specific points during the storyline. Like there's one point in the game
to suit the mood.
Yeah, or something like that. There's one point in the game where it just starts raining, and then it does that for
I know the exact part you're talking about.
It continues like that for a large portion of the game, and I was like, I don't want it to rain.
Autumnal, that would be great. Thank you.
First of all, it's depressing, and it makes the game run slower. It was like, when's the sun gonna come out?
So it's not a mood depressing. It's not depressing your mood. It's just depressing that the game runs slower.
Well, it's a little both. But then I guess after you beat the game, you unlock the ability to change the time of day at the research stations. And I was like, that's great, but I wish I could have done it when I was still playing the game.
Yeah, I mean that's great for people who still have things to do. But we did them all, so we're I don't care now.
And there's plenty to do in this game. It's a great value for your money.
Without doubt.
It's a great length, and there's plenty to do. But I regret doing it all before completing the main storyline.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like doing the little bits first to save the juicy parts for later.
Yeah. Oh well. But yes, I would say overall I very much enjoyed my time playing Spider-Man. The end.
Well, congratulations on beating it.
Congratulations on buying it.
I didn't buy it. I got it for Christmas.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Toon Blast.
How's Toon Blast going?
Same old show.
What stage?
Every time I see that, is that a cat or a mouse or a bear or a?
This is a bear. That's a penguin.
Okay, every time I see it, I think it's Heathcliff.
No one should.
Because I'm just looking at it out of the corner of my eye.
Mom Brain.
For as much as I love cats, I don't like Heathcliff.
What have you been playing? But his song is so much.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the only good thing about Heathcliff is his theme song.
I'm going to say his song's better than Garfield's song.
No one should.
I love that song.
A good Garfield song, though, is
Garfield's song is great.
It's so Saturday morning to me.
You're talking about the Garfield.
We're ready
Garfield
to
and Friends
party.
song.
We're ready.
But Heathcliff's song is when you bop to, man. That is a good song.
Well, Garfield and Friends had two different theme songs. There was one that was friends are there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. I like that one too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know which one came first. It might have been.
I might like that one better than the one she was doing.
I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
What have you been playing?
and it's time to party with Garfield and friends.
Coleman says, I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
I haven't been playing anything. Just been reading comics.
Wait. What was it? Was it you who thought that like someone yells out, "I'm sick"?
I'm sick. Yeah, I still think he
sick.
yells out, I'm sick. Because he ate so much at the party, he's sick. I'm sick.
All right.
And he's saying it while throwing up.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get it.
How was your week, Roman?
My week was good. Would you like to hear what I did during my week?
No, nah.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, let's do some
What did you
questions.
play?
Oh, thanks for asking.
Mom Brain.
I know you have that upset stomach this week.
Comanche, what have you been playing this week?
Beg for kibbles.
Not one for words, huh? What have you been playing?
What have you been playing?
Oh, thanks for
Let me
asking.
speak.
Let's invite him to his own party. This guy.
I played
Because nobody cares.
I played some more Wargroove. Like I said, I'm taking my time with it because I suck at those games, but I am enjoying it. I've already talked about that. I obviously I've been playing a lot of Yokai Watch 3, and I haven't been able to talk about it. But I can talk about it now. If you don't want to read the review, I can just give you my thoughts. Yokai Watch 3 is a very well-made game. It's a very nice-looking game. I think the soundtrack is phenomenal. It's got a lot of great. It's got a lot of bangers, as the kids say nowadays.
Yeah, some bangers that slap.
That's right. Really like that soundtrack. It's really good. The gameplay, I do appreciate that they've changed up what you do with the battle system. So in previous Yokai games, you just kind of stood there and did attacks and ultimate moves, which are special attacks that need time to build up.
Oh, okay.
But in Yokai Watch 3, they give you a 3x3 grid, and you have medals that represent your yokai, and you actually get to move them around so you can potentially avoid being hit by attacks, which is great. There's a cooldown period, so you can't just swap all the time. It's not like you can swap live when you see somebody attacking, but you can move your characters, which is really cool. And depending on where you align the medals and what types the yokais are, you can get like stat boosts and bonuses, which is also cool too. But the battle system is still very frantic. There's so much to do. Like I said in the review, your characters do automatic basic attacks. You have to let them charge up their ultimates. You touch the ultimate button to do the ultimate attack, but it's not just activating it. It'll be like draw circles on the screen, or tap these dots, or do a slot machine. And then you're moving the medals on the screen, and then on the grid, there's things to pick up, like health boosts and stuff like that, to pick that up too. Hello, Mother Brain. Then there's things flying around on the top screen that you can use the touch screen to activate. You can drop pins on enemies to focus your attacks on them. There's so much to do. It's crazy. I don't understand how a little kid does it. I thought the localization was really good because there's a ton of dialogue. I do feel there's too much dialogue. I feel the dialogue probably keeps out a lot of the intended audience for the game. And I feel like there's just way too many cutscenes. You get into like spurts of gameplay stretches, but it is eventually broken up by somebody talking way too much about something that you don't need that much detail on. But the dialogue is written well, and the localization, like I said, is really good. There's so much to do in the game. It's chock full of content. Yes, cumulative. I am corn-fused. That's related to one of the yokai in the game.
Oh,
That's something I didn't mention in the review that I should have. There are so many dumb yokai.
Mm-hmm.
They're just dumb. Like one is like an envelope that's split in half. It's like a love letter, and I forget what it's called, but it's something like love letter. I don't know. There's like a piece of bacon. It's just angry.
What's his name?
It's not crispy bacon. It's something bacon. It's just some
Spicy bacon?
salty bacon, because he's angry all the time. So it's salty.
Okay.
He's salty.
Oh, he should have been a cracker. He could be
Cracker bacon.
salty cracker.
There's like
And you
there's
could
just
have
a lot of
and you could have
dumb
a
ones.
southern accent.
Uh,
Salty cracker, dude.
there are a lot of people with a southern accent in here. I'm sorry, they have a BBQ accent because it's not USA, it's BBQ, and everybody's like southern. Yeah.
Wait, who calls it a BBQ accent?
No, that's what it's called in the game. Half of the game takes place in BBQ, which is supposed to mean like it's technically like all of USA is represented by like Texas. It's how like it's like the stereotype a lot of Japanese people have for the United States. Or like, what are people in the US that like, and they do like a southern accent.
Call it BBQ?
In the game, it is called BBQ. Yes, not USA. BBQ.
Interesting.
Okay.
And like when one of your main characters, Nate, moves to BBQ, he has trouble understanding people because they're all speaking with a southern drawl and a BBQ drawl and BBQ euphemisms and stuff like turns of phrase that are in southern states. Now that's one thing to like have someone speak with a southern drawl and you hear it, but to write it out must have been a nightmare for the localization team because they spell out things phonetically and you get exactly what they're saying, but it's got to be so hard to write all that out that way. They did a good job though. So yeah, I mean, if you like the other yokai games, I think this is the best one.
1 out of 10. What do you give it? 1 to 10.
I don't do numbers. You want me to do a number for the
How about
podcast?
stars?
I'll give it a 7.
Okay. Did you hear that? He gave it a 7.
My biggest gripe is the beginning of the game is such a slog.
I knew you were going
to. It's like an hour and a half of learning stuff, and that's not all you're going to learn in the game. As you go on, you learn a lot of other stuff, but the first hour and a half has very little in the way of battles, and it's really just walking from place to place and people telling you stuff, and it was torturous. But once you get into like the actual game, it's fun. It's interesting.
I know how to press the A button.
It's good. It's good. So I played that, and then last night I had the pleasure of finally playing Dragon March for Death, which is the new Inti Creates game. And I've been waiting to play that online with a friend because that game is supposed to be played online with a friend. So I played it with Name of Austin. And,
your best friend.
Well, he's up at 2 a.m. to play. I really like it. Basically, there's a very easy way to describe what the game is. It's a 2D Monster Hunter. That's exactly what it is. Obviously, it has an anime flair to it as far as visuals go, and it's 2D pixel art. But it is a Monster Hunter game. You do quests that are very similar to Monster Hunter. So you fight big monsters. And
how old is this Name of Austin guy? Because this game looks it's rated T for teen.
He's I don't know how old he is, but I'm pretty sure mid 20s.
There's a 5-minute launch trailer.
Yeah, because the game is split into 2 versions. So you buy, like, each version has 2 characters. And it's like, do you want to play as the ninja and the witch, or do you want to play as, like, the, I don't know, the tank and the standard protagonist? I don't know. The average character.
Does it matter what version you have to play with other people?
You can play with anybody. But whatever version you get, you only have 2 characters to pick from unless you get the version that's both together.
Oh, there's 3 versions.
I don't know if there's technically one version that includes all 4 characters. I think you might just have to buy both of them. But yeah, I like Monster Hunter, so I like this. It's a 2D platformer Monster Hunter. It's a lot of fun. You level your character up. You bring a certain amount of items with you on your quest that are for, and you bring like antidotes and herbs, and you
anecdotes?
Let
me tell you a story, Dragon.
You bring you equip different weapons and armor or charms, I should say, like rings and stuff. It's good. I really like it. People were complaining about it being too difficult. I think that's the whole point of a Monster Hunter style game, so I don't have any complaints there. It's just fun. Online works seamlessly, no problem. Like, get in there with a friend without any issues at all. Mikkel says the physical release for Dragon March for Death includes both both game versions, so all 4 characters. But the physical version isn't out yet, only eShop. Yeah, I really like it. Very excited to play more. We played a good 2.5 hours last night. Found it quite enjoyable. So if you like Monster Hunter and want to see it from a 2D perspective, check that out. Mother Brain says, "Hey, RMC, my back hurts too. Are we that old?" Well, I'm 36.
I didn't know your back hurt.
Stretching it just for
okay.
sitting.
I didn't know you were in your 30s.
I am, yeah.
Closer to 40 than 30.
Since when is the H in herb silent? Is that an American thing? It is autumnal light.
Unless, of course, it's a capital H for the name herb.
For the name herb. Yes, we do not pronounce the H here.
An herb. Just herbs.
Let's do a question.
Okay.
And you get that music ready. Bing bong. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
That's GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. Can be about Nintendo, can be about video games, or can be about anything in general. This is a real quick one. So I'll read another one after it. B. Maury says, "What is Going Sony's relation to Go Nintendo?" I own it, and it's Sony news. I just don't personally update it, and it has been updated in forever again because
Nobody
too
wants
much
to
work for people. I don't know. That's exactly what happens every single time. Somebody's like, "Hey, you don't do this site anymore. Why don't you do it?" I'm like, "Well, I run Go Nintendo, and it takes up all my time." And they're like, "I'll do it for you." And I'm like, "No, you won't." And they're like, "Yeah, I will. And it'll be super easy." And I'll go, "No, it's not." They go, "Yeah, I got no problem. I follow the news anyway." And I go, "Okay, here's how you do it." And then they do it for a couple weeks, and they're like, "Goodbye." So,
Goodbye, everybody.
That's how it always goes. I don't know
nothing,
what to do. I do not, by any stretch of the imagination, have anywhere near the amount of time I would need to do Going Sony. And if I did Going Sony, then I would never do anything else. I would do Go Nintendo and Going Sony, and that would be it. That's
What if you
all I
made a
have.
We're not
Sony?
done yet.
What if you made a Sony, Sony's business competition website and basically link everything from Go Nintendo to that site? So you have two sites, two different angles.
I like the way you think. I'll go on to Ryan's question, or I'm sorry, Ridley Saria's question. Okay, you guys tried butter Pop-Tarts, but have you ever tried frying donuts? It's the perfect way to gussy up those plain donuts from a variety pack, because everyone takes the chocolate and powdered donuts first. I like an old fashioned. I like. Oh yeah, those little doo-doos are so good.
The little crunchies.
What is that? Yeah, but they're not even crunchy
Donut
really
doo-doos.
though. They're
little barrel-shaped cylinders of cinnamon. They're doo-doos.
Oh my god, those are good.
Donut
But I like an old fashioned
They're
with
like-
a cup of tea.
They're like donut.
Yeah,
They're like
coffee.
donut sprinkles
Yeah.
He
that are
says-
individually glazed. Like
Ridley
I think
says.
they're just called crumb top donuts.
No, they're
Yeah.
called doo-doos.
They're
Ridley
not
says,
called doodles. Why are you so gross?
cut the donut in
Always
half.
poop with you
I
guys.
mean, think about it though.
What's with you guys?
Those doo-doos make you doo-doos.
Cut the donut in half as you would a
Sorry,
bagel.
Kirby.
Put a little bit of butter in a frying pan. Put the donut halves into the pan after the butter melts and starts to sizzle. Place the donuts cut side down. Fry them until they brown a bit and enjoy. They're delicious.
For the record,
I was-
donuts are fried.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, but
are we
we're
refrying?
doing double frying.
Refried donuts.
I want to say that I poo-pooed, sorry, the
You did that on
butter
purpose.
Pop-Tarts, and then I tried them, and Mom Brain tried them, and we both liked
I tried
them.
a bite. I wouldn't regularly eat butter
But you
Pop-Tarts.
liked it.
Yeah.
So
I
this
also like plain Pop-Tarts.
This could be true.
Hot butter Pop-Tarts?
They weren't hot. Were they hot? They were hot.
Yeah.
They were hot.
Hot butter Pop-Tarts. Hello, or thank you, Ridley Saria. I appreciate it. I want to say hello to somebody because I saw somebody join in here. Hello, Holden. Thanks for joining us. All right, there are your questions. Let's do some music. We had Vicky Hill. Did we get every single song right last week?
Yes.
We did, but I hope you didn't just jinx us.
Oh, I mean, I was going to say, so I don't care about this week.
You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh. Is that what I sound like?
There, I've been keeping it up for you, you know.
First song comes from Link
Is that what it sounds
601.
like?
Yep.
It's hard to remember.
Baroni's group. Why is it playing choppy?
Professor Lake.
What is like the background noise and everything?
It's not like I made the music.
It's recorded on like a camera.
Is this isn't Yoshi, is it?
No.
What system?
Touch Detective?
3DS.
Pokemon something.
Yep.
Oh! I don't know.
Like Mystery Dungeon or whatever that was.
It's not Mystery Dungeon.
Sun, Moon, Ultra
Sun and
Sun.
Moon.
Yeah, baby. Pokemon, I did it.
Great job. Great job.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So that was Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS from Link 601. The next song, yes, I'm sure, comes to us from Nate or Die.
Nate or Die.
Just have to find it.
The Nate or Die. Hello, Blunners. Nate or Die.
No. Nope.
Don't worry, Mom Brain. Take your time.
Okay. All right, Nate or Die.
Moonwalker.
Oh, that's what I meant.
It's neither.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
What's the name of that Genesis game?
Not on the Genesis.
What system is it?
Oh,
Wii.
Just Dance.
Guitar Hero.
It's the Just Dance Michael Jackson game.
Michael Jackson is here.
That's what it was. She's right.
You guys.
Come on, Brie.
Great job, guys.
Oh, hello, copyright strike.
I'll stop it.
Well, don't you
Too
know
late.
that other kids are starving in Japan, so eat it.
All right, so that was from Nate or Die, and it was Michael Jackson.
Wait, did we get that one?
The Experience. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
having it too. Here's one from Andy the Zombie.
Wario Land Shape It.
You got it.
Level 1. Love that game. Great game. Hello, Captain Cave. Oh my god, it's Captain Caveman.
This one comes from
Wonderful.
Blood Ocean 07.
Silent Hill.
No.
Resident Evil.
No.
Fragile.
What system?
Wii U.
Fatal Frame.
No.
Zombie U.
No.
Not first party.
Don't think so.
Did you say Resident Evil?
Sad. It's on Wii U. High quality. Mom Brain says not first party. I'm gonna guess right here. It's Xenoblade.
I definitely am not wrong, and it's not Xenoblade something.
It's not.
Severed on Wii U.
I got nothing. Go ahead, I don't know.
Bayonetta 2.
Nope. Typo Man.
Oh, I know the game, but I never played it.
I've never even heard of it.
It's a guy made out of letters.
Yeah,
Why is the music so sad?
because it's a typo. Nobody likes a typo.
Because language is a dying art.
Oh.
This one
Wow.
comes from the Sacred Wolf. And the cover is really good.
Is it portable?
No.
What?
Super Nintendo.
Man, I don't know. License? Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore.
No.
Lunar. like an RPG. Is it a Squaresoft game?
Enix.
Oh, it's an Enix game. Evo.
Yeah. Can I just say that the cover art, the picture of the cover art says on it, "The time has come. Incredible 12 megs, an action-packed prehistoric adventure game spread out over 4.6 billion years." That's a seller.
It's a very unique game.
The name is Extra Virgin Olive Oil?
Yep.
It's E.V.O. Search for Eden.
Extra Virgin Olive Oil.
So it's like dinosaurs searching for Eden.
Oh, like
I
that
guess.
movie.
This one comes from Nate or Die.
Didn't we have one?
We might have. Maybe
No,
I get
oh,
one check.
boy, that's not fair.
Sorry.
I like it. And what is it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Didn't we
Great
just
job.
have it like last week?
Could have been.
I swear
What
to
do you want
God.
from me?
One, we want you
I'm
to
doing
not
the
play
best
repeats.
I can. I'm doing the best I can. Okay.
Maybe
Would
somebody
someone else like to do
maybe
this?
Somebody else sent
Nope.
that song in last week, and she just didn't remember.
Somebody else like to do this, Joe?
Come on, Brain. Little constructive criticism. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Well, could you say it constructively and not
Mom brain.
A little constructive criticism. Don't screw it up.
don't screw it up again?
Don't be a salty bacon.
You know what you just did there?
Don't.
Don't. Do better.
This one
I'm
comes
sorry,
from
Amanda.
Pratt Trap. Oh, we probably had this one last week, and that's how you know it.
I think I know this.
You might.
I don't know why.
Okay. It's a
Adventure
Zelda.
Island?
It is.
Is it
Miniature?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Nice.
Oh,
Great
did you want
job.
to work through that one? Go ahead.
This one comes to us from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Okay. I feel like that's a Super Nintendo noise?
It was actually, I'm gonna say
Genesis,
probably
Genesis,
Genesis, and then
I'm sorry.
re-released on the Wii Virtual
I
Console.
apologize. Yes, that fart bass is a Genesis noise.
I do apologize.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, you would probably know.
Military
Genesis
base?
games,
Dynamite Headache.
Could be. No.
right? Gunstar Heroes.
No.
Anything.
Sparkster.
Nope.
Some RPG where people march.
Shining Force.
Yes.
Oh my God!
What?
I was just guessing.
Great job!
I was like, what RPGs were on the Genesis?
I was trying to think of anything where people marched.
Great job.
Smart with it.
That was Shining Force, and it came to us from the Jaguar.
What do we have? 7 so far?
I'm not keeping count.
We haven't missed one.
I'm
so.
trying to.
This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3, and it is a game I actually
Flicky.
played as a young child,
Toe Jam and Arrow.
Cat Trap.
but
Pal
not
means.
on the 64. Alright, volume is set just the way the last
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
one. No,
What the hell did you play that has this?
you won't.
This is N64?
64.
Tony Hawk's a
I
good
mean,
guess.
I don't think I played this.
Oh my God! I know this. This is an old Sugar Race.
This.
What the hell game is this on 64 that has licensed music? Licensed music N64 is the part that's blowing me away.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it like an extreme sports?
Yeah.
Why kinda?
BMX.
No.
Okay, so it's something bike related. Something with wheels related.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way she's acting.
Like,
It's not Tony Hawk.
No.
like
There's something you find funny about this.
No.
No? Okay.
ATV.
San Francisco Rush.
No.
Oh, the Beetle Adventure Race.
Is it a Sonic theme? Is it about Monster
Cruising
Trucks?
something. Oh, Monster Trunks is the Trunks. Monster Trunks is a good guess.
Check out all your favorite
Wave
Monster
Diggle.
Trucks.
It's not motorcycles.
No.
It's not. Is it rollerblading?
No.
Is it road rash?
Yeah.
Yes!
Very nice.
It just hit me.
Motorcycle?
That is motorcycles. Yeah.
Is it? I
Yeah,
must have played a different.
that's the whole point of road rash.
I
It's
thought
motorcycles.
You played Rad Racer.
I thought.
Excite Bike.
You probably played Skitchin or something.
Last song comes from Mikey.
Wait a minute, hold on. Do you know what Skitchin is?
I've never
Do you
heard
know
of
what
it.
Skitchin is? As a term, not as a game.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
term?
when you're skateboarding and you hang on to cars.
Hey, this guy
Oh,
knows it.
okay.
Marty McFly did it in Return of the
Because
Future.
I said it to her like a while ago, and she's like, "What's
Future.
Skitchin?" She thought I made up the word. I was like, "That's what it's called."
Skitchin. I've been skitching.
Skitchin. Wear your gloves.
Okay, go ahead.
Last song,
Cookie Monster Pinwheel.
Mikey 3319.
You know we have to get this because this will make another perfect week.
No, it won't.
No, I think we missed at least one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. You're right. Doom.
No.
Wolfenstein. Shadow Man.
No.
Wait a minute. Can I get a system? Is it the 64? Is it Nightmare Creatures?
It is!
Yes! Oh my god, who sent this?
Mikey 3319, and he
thank you
goes.
so much.
Kirby said last week, one day it'll be this.
I did say that. Oh my god, thank you so much for
Nightmare
listening.
Creatures.
Nightmare Creatures.
It's a good game.
Where you fight monsters in 19th century London.
Very cool.
I mean,
It's
it's
unique.
it's probably aged terribly.
Yes.
I
I
just-
remember being very violent.
Yeah, I just remember like trying to cut monsters like arms off and stuff. I was like, wow, this is so cool.
Kirby, what are you doing here? Get out, Mom! I'll cut your legs off. Look at me! Well, 8 out of 10. That's great. Take that. Thank you for keeping score there, cumulative.
There was a sequel.
There was. I never played it.
I never played a sequel either. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Also, I meant to say this earlier and I didn't. Thank you to those of you who checked out my personal blog about comic books. I really appreciate it. I changed something on my Twitter profile and you guys noticed right away. I didn't think anybody would notice anything, but you went there like almost instantly. So thanks for that. If you want to see, it's not a news blog. It's not anything like, it's just personal stuff about comic books. You can go check out on my Twitter profile. There's a link there. But yeah, thanks to those who checked it out already. That's it. That's what we got. Hello, No Filter. Thanks for joining us. You did miss it, but we still got the after show. That's a couple minutes long. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Main machine. Main machine.
I forgot my mouse button wasn't working. So when I went to click end, it didn't end right away. So I got some of you singing in there, and I'm definitely leaving that.
Damn it.
All right, guys, after show. What do you want to talk about? We'll talk about whatever you want.
It is a very dark game.
Got things you
It
want
is
us
a
to
lot
talk
of
about?
fun.
Let's do it. You got? Can I do this? You got questions? We'll answer questions if you want. Hylian Tom is now singing Bean Machine. Bean Machine! Bean Machine! Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine! Yes, Roth, I saw the trailer for that new Child's Play movie. Did you guys see that trailer?
Looks even worse than I remember. Oh, this is a commercial.
I'm asking you guys.
What? What?
You see the trailer for the new Child's Play?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think I just heard something about it.
It's interesting to
yesterday.
see like a new Child's Play that's like, taking it seriously.
Is this one going to be direct to Netflix again?
No, this is a real, this is like reboot deals.
Oh, okay.
Here's my question: are all of the Chuckies bad?
I don't know. Gotta ask.
Uh,
Who's that? Aubrey Plaza.
I recently
Man,
she's
you
got
want me to
some
see a
acting
movie?
chops,
Want me to
huh?
see a movie? Put
Oh, yeah.
Aubrey Plaza in it.
Man,
Did you ever see that?
she's pretty.
I mean, I would see it anyway because
Those
I like
boys
those.
that need dates. Did you see that one?
Oh, what is it? Mike and Dave need wedding
or
dates.
something.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
No?
Not even for Aubrey Plaza.
I don't even know what it is.
What about Safety Not Guaranteed?
That I did see.
That was from a Reddit thread.
I actually found out about the Reddit thread through an anime, which we talked about earlier tonight. Steins Gate. Steins Gate.
Steins Gate. More like Swine's Gate.
Got it.
Should have used that during the show.
You know what other trailer I saw, and I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it? The new Shaft.
There's a new Shaft?
Yeah.
I actually saw the first Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson in the theater.
So did I.
Oh, did we see it together?
We might have. This new
Did
Shaft.
we see it with Kyle or something?
Wait,
Or-
you saw it too?
Right.
Were you in the theater? I saw it on this stage. So did I. Wait a second.
This was like almost 20 years ago.
The
I don't
new
remember.
Shaft movie has Shaft's son, who is some new young actor, and then it has Samuel L. Jackson,
And Richard
and it has
Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree.
I can't. He was probably in the other one too, right?
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I feel like the last one was very forgettable, but
The only thing I remember is that like Christian Bale was in it as like an evil like rich white kid.
yes, that I do
It
remember.
was him, right?
But yeah, the trailer for the new one actually looks pretty good. Yes, I saw the. Wait, is the new Pet Cemetery out? I saw the trailer for the new Pet Cemetery. I didn't know if it was out already. Northern Sequence says, "Did you see the new Pet Cemetery movies? If I saw it, that would have to mean it's out, right? Oh, it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just a trailer. I don't think it's.
I have not. I saw the trailer. I'm intrigued.
They
I like
feel
what's his
they
face.
told the whole story.
What's that guy's name? You know, great actor,
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow. I do love him.
I feel like they gave away the whole story.
Wait, who are you actually talking about?
Yeah, John Lithgow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love him.
I mean, sometimes he's a great actor.
Did somebody go into the Mars box?
Yeah,
Come on, Brain
Come on,
did.
Brain did.
Oh, okay.
You gotta
Because it was
know.
up against the wall before. Now it's out on the edge.
You're free to have some.
Oh,
Yes, I saw the trailer. Like I said, intrigued. I'm not like a huge fan of Pet Cemetery, but I enjoyed
Did
it.
you get a bunch from Costco? Because I don't want to.
No,
Yeah,
it's
your mom.
no fine. They're from a party. She was giving them
A Malamar party.
Melamarty.
I mean, they're in season. You got to get them while they're in season.
Rachel says everyone already knows the story, so who cares if they gave it away?
I didn't know the story, Rachel.
Rachel, maybe there's people who aren't old like us and they don't know the story.
The story of Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
I didn't follow the whole story back in the day.
The story of Pet Cemetery and why it's spelled incorrectly.
Those children made it.
They sure did. Oh, I wanted to see that new horror movie when it came out yesterday. It's got the lady from Orange is the New Black. I wanted to see it when I saw the first trailer, and then I saw the second
Prodigy?
trailer, and I was like, yes, The Prodigy. And I was like, it's not about the band. I'm out. This is our son. His name's Firestorm. So
Wait.
dumb.
And there's a Stephen King tie-in because he wrote a story called Firestarter.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And they made a
Now all we
movie
gotta
about
do is
it.
work and smack my bitch up, and we're good. Scary Stories to Tell in the
Twist
Dark
Box
looks
song.
good, says Roth. Is there a trailer for that?
There's like multiple TV spots.
Oh, during the Super Bowl, I guess.
Yeah, I don't remember the stories though, so I don't know what they mean.
You know, it looks good. Endgame looks good. I watched that trailer.
Which
That
one?
might be okay.
Oh, the new one, the Super Bowl trailer. The Super Bowl like commercial. It's not really a
They don't
trailer.
really. They're super teasers because there's no info.
Well, I hear they're also editing out characters from the trailers.
I saw a photo of that, and they were like,
Well, they have done it in the past.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I can see there's a
Did you
Malamar
ever see-
conversation going on in the chat. So
Did you see somebody who posted, who cut together Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the post credits scene, with the scene from
timing wise, you're saying?
from Avengers, whatever, what's
Infinity
it?
War?
Infinity War, where it like the timing works out where people start to fade away and
Yeah.
then fade away and stuff. Right at the moment he goes into.
Well, apparently he gets out. So
Somehow. Well, that's what was just funny to me. Like, I watched that trailer for Endgame, and I was like, hey, there he is. And then I completely forgot that he was trapped in the quantum realm.
Yeah, he's that's how that movie ends.
Yeah.
Michelle
it's after.
Pfeiffer's gone, and
It's after him.
what's his name is gone.
Yep.
Douglas. And
Him.
everybody's gone. All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Right up here.
Oh, I can't click.
So when then